Before Marvel Comics and IDW were in charge of publishing Star Wars comics, it was Dark Horse. And before that, it was also Marvel. They used to publish Star Wars comics. From 1977 to 1987, Marvel published 107 issues and 3 annuals. And I own one of those issues for some reason. I don't remember why or where or when I got this comic, but it has an ad for Secret Wars 2, this sick dude curling, how-to breakdance advertisement, Captain America walking with 2 children under the stars, and this fucking thing eating Reese's Pieces. Also, it should be noted, Marvel got really weird in these comics, and this one is no different. So, released in 1985, written by Joe Duffy with art by Cynthia Martin, this is Star Wars No Zeltrons, aka Queer Eye for the Star Guy. Also, I've never read any preceding or following issues to this, so I have absolutely no context for this comic. The book begins in a cave with a triangular-headed space dominatrix, Sandman from DC, and some prisoner. Also, this story, takes place after Return of the Jedi. Oh, no, wait. Is that supposed to be Lando Calrissian? So, Lando tells them where Leia Organa is, or something, after being, interrogated, kind of. He's really more just threatened. Cut to where Leia Organa is. Leia and Han stand speaking to— holy shit, look at Admiral Akbar's head. Take it easy, Leia. You act like this is the end of the universe or something. Sounds more like Lando. Fucking everybody sounds like Lando. It might as well be, Han. Isn't there some other way, sir? I'm afraid not, General Solo. Anyway, they're talking, and what are they not so sure about? Well, smash cut to these guys. Meet Bob and the boys. Pink skin, fun-loving Zeltrons with a eye for fashion. This is John, Merrick, and Rahul. Apparently Leia hates Zeltrons and she refuses to work with them or something. Why are they here? I don't know. They speak somewhat cryptically about whatever it is they're here to do. Maybe it's to deflate Akbar's giant head. Oh, apparently the Zeltrons are
essential if the Alliance wishes to retain its diplomatic ties with their homeworld. As a trap.
Then Rahul goes over to Han and is like, wow, it's an honor to meet you, sir. You're a hero on our planet. Every Zeltron wants to meet you, especially the girls. Bet you weren't expecting that voice. Huh? You stereotyper. Hey, John, Marek, Bob, look who it is. You're the pilot of the Millennium Falcon. The legendary pilot and smuggler and navigator. You blew up the Death Star. And Han's like, well, you know, it ain't nothing but a zero-G thing. Wow, I can't believe we're meeting the famous General Lando Calrissian. This is the part where you laugh. So Akbar informs Leia and Han that there are worlds within the Alliance that believe it is being too rough and, worse than the Empire, I guess? So, to assure them that the Alliance is cool and hip, Han and Leia are going to a giant party held on the planet Cabray. Suddenly Luke just rocks up with Danny and Cairo, whoever the fuck they are. I don't know if they've appeared before this issue. I have no idea who these 2 people are, but he seems to like them. They seem to have some sort of history. But then he just walks away again, because the 3 of them are going to find a missing scouting party or something, and they leave. Later, in wherever, Leia's being a Zeltrophobe and is complaining about how she has to, go to Cabray because they were subservient to the Empire or something, and how dare they. And Han's like, Leia? What the fuck's your dealio? Then they argue and the Zeltrons appear in the doorway with clothing! Meanwhile, Pink Woman and Adam Warlock dressed as a member of Mask hear something. Wait, that's it? It's only 2 panels, and we're back to Leia and Han? Whatever. So the Zeltrons do Leia's hair, and Han walks in the room, and he's like, hey Leia, are you guys done yet? See ya! And he just, immediately, whoop, turns around like Grandpa Simpson. Leia follows him, and they find the other Zeltrons working on Leia's dress, which I think is supposed to be the dress that she wore in Episode 4, which is also her only dress, apparently. It kind of makes sense, because her planet got blown up, but I mean, she could probably buy more, right? Meanwhile, we get 2 more panels of Pinko and Stay Pony Gold Boy being attacked by something. Back at wherever, Leia's wearing her sexy dress with Han. They're not like both in the dress, Han's just like standing next to her. And the Zeltrons look on in satisfaction like parents before a prom. They walk down the grand staircase at the party. Oh, I guess they're on Cabray now? And everyone stares at Leia. Some fat little man with a mutton chop mustache welcomes Leia to Cabray, and then a pale guy appears and says,
"May I say that it's a pleasure to welcome you to our distinguished band of prisoners."
Han immediately pulls his blaster, but he looks pretty calm and collected about it. This isn't the first time he's about to shoot a man in the face. But then another pale man appears behind him and takes him hostage. And it's revealed that the party was a sham or something, who cares? Meanwhile, Luke is watching a weird hologram thing in the darkness somewhere when he hears a crunch come from behind him. And Luke turns to find Cairo suffocating to death because I guess his, faceplate was shattered and he can't handle the atmosphere or something. So Luke, being the hero he is, pulls Cairo towards a nearby, river and starts to drown him. I mean, save him, because I guess Cairo is aquatic. In prison, the Zeltrons, Leia, and Han sit around wondering what to do. Oh, and apparently the leader of the group of pale guys is named Knife. Guess why? Back on nondescript planet number 2, Luke marches out into the ice with his lightsaber and sleeveless shirt. The Zeltrons practice their cheer routine by making a human pyramid while Han tries to think of a plan. And the Zeltrons are like, "Don't worry about that, Han, we have our own plan. John will climb above the door, then we'll call for a guard or somebody nearby. Maybe we'll say we shanked someone to get their attention and that this person needs medical help. And when the door opens, he drops from above and gets him." Surefire plan. Meanwhile, Luke finds the villain somewhere and they fight. And the Zeltrons enact their plan, and it works perfectly. The prisoners escape and kick some serious ass, and Han and Leia shoot people. So later, the Zeltrons hold the pale dudes at gunpoint as the prisoners thank Leia and Han. As the couple walks away, the Zeltrons march Knives' gang out into the woods to dig their own graves, and Han happily says, "You know, Leia, things worked out great. Absolutely terrific. You've got to keep a more open mind. The Zeltrons handled themselves fine." Oh yeah, and Luke got into a fight with Triangle Head and lost hard. The end. I hope you enjoyed this little short episode. I'll see you in a fortnight for a special Halloween spooky episode. And this year, it is not another Frank Miller comic.